afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our VetJobs and Military Spouse Jobs Salute to Industry video series, where we have honest and open conversations with our employers to learn more about who they are, what they do, and what their industry does in the civilian sector. I'm Angie Fair. I'm an active duty Army spouse of 19 years. My background's in HR and recruiting, and I work with our employer engagement team to support our employer partners with all of the different engagement pieces, marketing, conversations, and extra ways that we can support our employer partners with connecting to our high quality military talent. And I'm joined by my partner in crime today, Michael Hine, who's going to assist us in our Salute to Industry today.
Thanks, Angie. My name is Michael Hine. I'm an Army veteran of 27 years. Go Army. I'd just like to say thank you for the rest of the people that are on here. For the veterans, thank you all for your service. I know not one service can do it all, so thank you so much for that. I'm in VetJobs. I've been in many different roles within the VetJobs, but right now I'm working on the engagement team. Take it back.
Yeah, and we are delighted to be joined today by the team at Freeman. And they are a well-known organization in the event space. And so I'd like to turn it over to Barry Barb, who's in the HR and TA space, to give a little bit more information about who Freeman is, what they do, and a little bit more insight on a pretty cool program that we've been working with them on to highlight to our veteran job seekers.
Thank you so much, Angie. A pleasure to be here today. My name is Barry Barb, and I lead our emerging talent efforts here at Freeman Company. In case you've never heard of us, we are the largest live events producer in the country, and we're very excited about this new opportunity that we're going to discuss today. It's specifically around a Veterans Fellowship program. I myself am not a veteran, unfortunately, but I am a son of a veteran, 22 years U.S. Army, so we go by the same name. I'm junior, he's senior. So I have a very special place in my heart for the military community, like everybody else on this call today. So a little bit more about Freeman. We are almost 100 years old. The 2027 will be our 100-year anniversary. We are still family owned by the Freeman family, and we build experiences that connect people all around the world. A lot of what we do requires precision, dedication, and a mission-first mindset. Anybody in the military would understand that. So we are building this new opportunity to connect skilled veterans to our environment, which requires leadership, logistics, teamwork under pressure, and flawless execution. Again, anybody in the military could understand that. We know that transitioning from the military can be a little difficult when you're going into the corporate world, so we want to try to help with that, and that's kind of the genesis of this program. So we're excited to announce that we're going to be hosting a fellowship program that is going to help do that very thing, bridge that gap. This program is going to provide more structured on-the-job training and experiences with a direct path to full-time careers here at Freeman. There are two distinct tracks that these fellows would be able to go on: event services and audiovisual operations. This is going to be a 15-week rotational experience, regardless of which division they choose, and they're going to gain multiple different experiences and exposures all around our business. This is going to start February 2nd and go through May 15th of 2026.
Okay, great. That sounds wonderful. I'm going to take this time to introduce the part of the Freeman group that's with us. It's a great group, it sounds like. So I'll just kind of do the introduction by name. After I get done with that, we'll call on them. They can say what their position is within Freeman. And if they want to shout out to their armed force group, they can. We have Dennis Sullivan here. We have Christian DeMeo, Willard Kendall, Bill Cagle, and Vince Coe. So first person we're going to turn it over to is Dennis. So obviously being in the military, and then being in leadership also in Freeman Group, let's tell us about how that impacts the fellowship program.
Sure. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. And, I'm a 30-year veteran at Freeman, and it was 30 years ago where I left the service. And just like everyone else, we all kind of wonder where we're going to fit and find the same sense of purpose and camaraderie that we've got in the service, right? And that esprit de corps. And I found that when I went to work at Freeman over 30 years ago. It's a family-owned business, as Barry mentioned, and it's truly a family with a lot of camaraderie. The fellowship program, it bridges that gap for those that are coming from the service into work. At Freeman, we operate with a clear mission, a strong sense of teamwork. Every day, our teams lead large groups of people and manage complex logistics under tight timelines. Whether we're setting up a trade show in a convention center or a corporate event or outside live experience like an MLB or something of the such, the objective is clear. Teamwork's essential and results are tangible. In the military, we learn to identify a challenge, build a plan, and execute it with precision. That mindset aligns perfectly with what we do at Freeman. The fellowship program is just not about learning about a job. It's about translating your military experience into a meaningful and a long-lasting career. We're not simply looking for people to fill positions. We're looking for leaders, individuals who can process information quickly, make sound decisions under pressure, and communicate clearly and decisively. Freeman provides a pathway where your unique background isn't just undervalued, it's a strategic advantage, being the leader that you are. We believe deeply in the potential of our veterans and are committed to investing in that success from day one. And as I said, go Navy, beat Army, and I'll turn it over to Christian to follow up on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dennis, for that overview. The military is obviously known for their leadership skills and those intangibles that they're able to build in the military throughout their career. And so I would like to turn it over to Christian to, as Barry mentioned, the fellowship's kind of broken up into two different tracks, the audio visual and the event services. So I would like to turn it over to Christian. So maybe he could tell us a little bit more about what fellows can expect from the event services track.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. So just about me, I served 8 years as an infantry officer in the United States Marine Corps before resigning my commission in 2016, in which I joined from Freeman immediately thereafter. I'll actually hit my 10-year mark coming up next month. To say I was nervous about transitioning from the military and closing that chapter in my life and opening a new one is an understatement. Obviously, the camaraderie built within the Marine Corps and any branch of the military is something that anybody should strive for. That bond of brotherhood about looking to your left and to your right. I will tell you that I did find that in Freeman, and I was very grateful for that. The experience in the military, whether you believe it, translatable skills or not, you come to the table with a package of skills that others just don't. Your attention to detail, your drive for mission accomplishment, your ability to work in a team environment and team setting, and your ability to handle pressure and perform in austere environments is everything that makes you successful. As far as Freeman goes, I'm currently on site producing New York Comic Con. Imagine how crazy it is to set up an event like that with 300,000 square feet of raw space. And now you're essentially building an entire city where exhibitors are going to come and enjoy their particular industry for a period of time. This career path allows me to leverage a lot of the strengths I discussed as part of being a military veteran to grow teamwork, leadership, problem-solving abilities. I also appreciate what we do from an event operations standpoint because we get to deliver amazing service to many different customers across a wide breadth of industries. And that aligns to what we gain from military service. Overall, this role offers me a meaningful way to apply my skills and values and the challenges that I craved in the military. This fellowship program will give participants the training they need to get started and help their transition into the private workforce.
Well, thanks, Christian. Next year, make sure I get that invite to Comic-Con. I'd love to come and see how it's all set up. I always watch those on YouTube, all the Comic-Cons. Crazy. So I'm sure you have your hands full. So since we talked about the event, I'd like to kind of switch over to the audio-visual track. And Willard, you're actually building the training experience for that fellowship program. How would you say, maybe what you experienced in the military, maybe, or what you've done previously that's helped develop that training?
Well, I am one of, I think, the only one here that is not an actual veteran. My family and friends are, lots of them in the military, and I have a deep found respect for those coming from the military, current in the military. Like I said, my whole family, I think I may be one of the first ones to not join. That's a whole other story that I'm happy to talk about with anybody. However, that is the kind of person that we're looking for. We're very excited about the fact that everybody coming from the military that is interested in this kind of work, coming with the leadership skills that they have, the ability to adapt and overcome, that's essential in the AV side, just as much as it is in the event service side. Just like you heard Christian say, we're essentially taking space and turning it into something that it was not intended to be. You're building a city. You're bringing something in that wasn't there to begin with. You have a short timeline to do it. You have your crew that's there to help you. That's your troops. That's your team. Those are the people working with you to make this happen. So essentially on the AV side, what we're looking for is to take the skills that you have from the military and bring you in and build up the leadership skills on the AV side that you would need to lead a team. Specifically, there's what they call the general session of an event. That's the main event. That's the heartbeat of what the whole event is. We're looking for the leaders for that main event, general session production managers. So all those skills that you come equipped with, how to lead teams, how to make, just like we said earlier, how to make those quick decisions, how to assess a situation and execute that plan is exactly what we're looking for. And we know that you can bring that to the table. So you're going to learn how the events are planned, how they're executed, and how you fit into that team to be an integral part of making it actually happen. So during the 15-week program, we'll teach you the basics of audio, video, lighting, how to build these into a CAD program to share with the team, how to direct that team, IT networking. It can all sound a little daunting, but we know that there's skills that you already have that you can bring, and we can help expand upon that. So no experience necessary in those areas. We'll help you with that. This will involve some classroom training, but hands-on is really the way that we think works best. And, from what I see and understand from all of my military friends, that's a very prime way of learning in the military. So we're really happy to be able to work in that same kind of aspect. I will be with the company for 13 years coming up at the beginning of next year. And I spent several of those years as a general session production manager. One of the things that I really love the most about it is exactly what Christian was just saying. Taking an idea, taking something that just, what does the client want? What are we trying to do here? And turning that into reality. It is such a satisfying and gratifying feeling at the end of the event, or even the beginning of it, to say, hey, we did that together, and see how amazing it is. So come join us. We'd love to have you become a general session production manager. One of the best things I love about Freeman as a whole is the ability for growth. There's plenty of room for growth. There's lots of different roles within the company, and you can end up doing something that you never even dreamed of from the beginning. So yeah, really excited about this. Thanks, Michael.
Well, thanks so much for sharing that, Willard. That is, I'm always fascinated by talking to your team about what you all do with events, from conception all the way through completion. And I think it's probably very, very fulfilling to see that
It is.
come to part. And I love what you had to say about positions from beginning all the way through growth, because the fellowship is really going to be the opportunity to come in, it's going to be a paid opportunity, but then all the way through position where you can stay for 15 or 30 years. Now, Bill,
I didn't think I'd be here 13 years, so it's definitely room for growth.
That's awesome. Now, Bill, I'd love to turn it over to you. And as a veteran who now works in the AV department, how would you say the training translates that you got in the military, and also any other kind of experiences that you had around your veteran and military years to the real world and what you're doing now with Freeman?
Well, for me, it almost translated directly. I spent 8 years in the Air Force, attained the lofty pay grade of E4. And when I was in the Air Force, I worked as a broadcast journalist. And so all the cameras, lights, microphones, everything like that all translated very easily over to the AV side. And it was sort of like a natural thing for me, even though I didn't know that industry even existed when I got out of the Air Force. And working with the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service, it taught me all the skills I needed to work in the audiovisual world at Freeman. And I still use those skills today. But it's really not about all the gear. To me, it was always the people. That's what kept me here. I've been with Freeman for 28 years now. And it's the dedication and the shared mission and that energy. And that's what made me feel like I really, really belonged here. It was all the people getting together, being very serious, being very enthusiastic about what they do, and that mission-orientated mindset that really helped me feel like I clicked. And also being able to see the impact of my work. Like I able to say like, hey, general session, I built that. Look at all these meeting rooms. Look at this exhibit. I built this. And so every skill that you bring to the table, helps create that space for everyone that we serve to connect and engage in something that for them is an experience that's unforgettable. And so Freeman's given me lots of room to grow. And I've had a chance to be part of some amazing live events, including Comic-Con and including, let's see if I'm trying to remember, a bunch of medical shows. I got to build the Discovery Channel booth for an event. Really just fun things. And it's just been amazing. And I've been worked across all departments and operations at audiovisual across the years in all kinds of roles. I've been really lucky that I've been able to follow my passion in a lot of ways. And it's been a really rewarding journey, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. And like everyone said before, like everyone has their role, and we all work together and we execute that flawless event every time. And it's just amazing to see. And so if you enjoy working with technology and you like being part of a tight-knit crew, Freeman's a great place to work.
That's great to hear. And I think what's great is you were able to explain how it was that you actually were kind of doing that job already in the military and transferring it over. But what's also even great is that you guys said, hey, you don't need to be experienced in that, because we'll get you up to speed so that you will be able to work in that sector without having an issue with it. So to me, that's really great. Vince, I know a lot of people have kind of hinted towards this during this conversation and everything. But you've been with the company for 30 years. Would you say, being in the military prior, that, seeing that bonding between everybody in the military, then seeing the bonding within Freeman itself, and, having that assistance of that so-called battle buddy coming over and helping, stepping in and moving you along where you may need to, would you say that that's a big impact on why you stayed with Freeman and the group?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I started with Freeman 32 years ago, it was the day my EAS ended. It was the day I started working with the company, and I've been here ever since. And now I'm the Event Technology Services Director, and I've had my feet in everything that we've done, all the way from swapping overheads and slide projectors all the way up to, leading large teams on large events. And, that the discipline and focus and adaptability and esprit de corps that we had in the Marine Corps let alone in the military, definitely has played a big role in my ability to execute a lot of the things that we've done over the years. I've done events with a lot of the people on this call and a lot of people that aren't in this call, and we have definitely created some pretty amazing things over the years that we can all be proud of, as just as much as our time in the military. And yeah, it's been great. I did 9 years, including some reserve time, 6 years active, 9 with reserves, and I was just a grunt, nothing special. And yeah, it's been great being a part of the team, and look forward to this program and having more people come on that are former military. So.
Well, this has been great. Thank you all so much for sharing your insights and telling us a little bit more about what brought you to Freeman, why you stayed, and give us some more insight on the fellowship. I just have to say, I know there's one Air Force veteran here, but I feel a little overrun by Marines, by hoorah here. And as an Army spouse, I feel like I need to throw in a hoo-ah.
Well, we'll forgive y'all for saying it wrong, but
Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much to the Freeman team for joining us. And Barry, I would love to turn it over to you for any final thoughts that you all might have and some additional information about where candidates can find more information and next steps.
Yeah, thank you again so much for the time today. We, as you can clearly see, are excited about this new initiative. This is a strategic initiative for us, not just a training program. We see this as a launch pad for military veterans to come and start their new careers, surrounded by a team that clearly understands their values and experiences and are invested in their success. So again, as I mentioned on the top, the program is set to begin February 2nd through May 15th of 2026. The idea is that if successful, all of these individuals will immediately convert to full-time opportunities as soon as this fellowship is over. We hope that we are at 100% conversion at that time. And we're going to begin accepting applications in November. We're going to work with our friends here at VetJobs to cascade that application information through your system. So stay tuned for more. We're excited to see what happens with this program.
Well, great. Thank you all so much for joining us and giving that great insight. And we look forward to partnering with you and getting that information out to our community. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.